What's up, everybody? It's been a crazy ass day again. Woo! It was synced all the way up, as usual. I saw a lot of synced bugs today. It's the first thing. Is I saw a lot of those, like a lot of them. Like when I cross a street, or when I like walk by a corner, or like when a car is driving by me or something. There'll just be bugs flying out right in front of my face, or flying up in my face, or just flying right by my head, or just flying out in front of me, like out in the distance in front of me a little bit, like kind of like the birds do. They'll either be closer or further away from me, but they'll be perfectly synced up though. I've been seeing a lot of synced bugs today, and I've been seeing a lot of synced birds as usual. It's really sunny and nice today, so all the synced bugs were out. A lot of them. And it was just like there's parts where I was walking through the side streets, and there wasn't really any cars around. It was just quiet. There wasn't anything going on. There's no people around or anything. But then just a bug would come and fly in my face randomly. And then I heard this woodpecker that kept syncing up when I crossed. Like, it happened at like two different streets when I crossed the street. I think it happened at a few other places. Where I just hear this synced woodpecker today. I've never heard that one before, but I heard a woodpecker synced. And there was a squirrel yelling at me at the same time. I don't know if he was a synced squirrel. But he was just like going off chattering, like at the same time that I started to hear this woodpecker. It's like as I'm walking by this squirrel. I don't know. I think it was a synced squirrel with with the woodpecker, but I don't know. I don't know about the squirrel, but that woodpecker though. And then every once in a while, I just like to go around and like try to like ask them shit and whatever. And like today, I was doing that. Like all these gang stalkers, like when they would drive by me with their windows down, or if they would come up close to me, I would be like, "Hey, why are you doing that? Hey, why did you do that? Hey, why are you doing that right next to me? Hey, why are you doing that?" And they just can't answer. They either ignore me completely, they like get all defensive, or they're like, "What? Doing what? What?" You know? Like none of them can say anything, and then after a minute of questioning, they just tap out, and then they just leave. They just walk in the door, and then some of them, like this one guy, he was like, "Cause I can." I was like, "Why are you doing that?" He's like, "Cause I can," and he's like smiling. And every time I see that guy, he's always smiling and like mocking me and shit as he stalks me. He's getting out of a car right next to me after he turn synced. And I was like, "Hey, why are you doing that?" He's like, "Cause I can." So I was just like asking like everybody today. I was like, "Hey, why are you doing that?" And like nobody can give me any answers. And then I just get really angry because everybody's just being a bitch, and everybody just has this smirk on their face, and they're all a bunch of fucking weirdos. I just get really fucking angry, and I'm just like, "Hey, why are you doing that?" But they can't tell me anything though. So that's been my day. Heard the train horn going off a few times. Synced with cars. I saw this guy, like I was walking up this sidewalk and there's like no corners around to stalk at. so like someone like closed their car door with a red shirt, and it was right as this guy walks in front of me, and then he like crosses the street, and then he puts his leg, he like leans up on this stop sign, and he like puts his leg up, and he's like cleaning off the bottom of his shoe or something. He does that right as a blue car drives by, and then he puts his leg back down right as a red car drives by. And then I'm like, hey, why are you doing that? And he's like, oh, he's like getting all pissed off about it. And then this other guy got out of his car right next to me. I was like, hey, why are you doing that? And then he was like, he had this smirk on his face, and he's like, doing what? What? Doing what? And he just has this smirk on his face, and he has this look in his eye, like he knows what he's doing, you know? Like they all know what they're doing, and they have that look in their eye, like they know exactly what I'm talking about. And I can tell that they know exactly what I'm saying, and they know exactly what is going on. So why is everyone doing that? Can anyone tell me yet? And then I went to Walmart today, and I came out, and right when I come out, like right when I walk, like I come out the door, and then right when I walk over the curb into the parking lot, right in front of the door, you know, right at that place, I hear this truck on the street, this semi, and it's just like. And then I was seeing a bunch of red and blue cars on that last video I did, like a lot of them, especially at the end. And then I was seeing a lot of them when I came back out too. It was just like, it was red and blue car day. I mean, I was seeing all the other shit too, of course, but like, there was a lot of red and blue cars today. And a lot of whiteys too. But then some of them look like they just got caught doing something too. I'm like, hey, why are you doing that? And then they look like they just got caught doing something, and then they just like turn really fast and they walk in the door. It's just like really pathetic psychological abuse, you know? Like nobody can tell me anything, and they just all just play stupid like a bunch of pathetic pieces of shit. really pisses me off that nobody can say anything. And then they just laugh in my face. And then there's all these children running around laughing at me. And that's just really weird. And like, I can't get mad at them either. Like, I can't get mad at the children stalkers, really, because they're just children, you know? But it's just always these children walking around stalking me and mocking me and laughing at me across the street and shit. You know, like, children with their parents and the families laughing at me and shit. And like, why do you do that? And once again, it's quiet outside right now when I'm going live, but earlier there was truck engines and there was cars honking and stuff. Now there's just nothing. I think there was only one siren today though, so that's good. But I did see a lot of cops stalking me though. There goes a truck engine outside. I bet he's a stockhead. There goes my water heater right now at this moment. Right when I'm pouring the beans into the pot. Isn't that fucked up to poke at someone's nervous system all day, every day, and then mock them in their face and gaslight them in their face and act like you're not doing it? And try to make them into a fucking serial killer? Are they trying to turn me into a mass shooter or something? Is that what this is? Trying to turn people into mass shooters or something? Is that what the government is doing? Is that what they're doing? Are they trying to turn people into mass shooters and make people lose their minds and kill themselves or turn into a mass shooter, one or the other? Here goes a white truck right now and a red car and another white truck and another white SUV all at once. Right when I walk up to the window, these two white trucks are taking off out of the parking lot. Synced up. Are they trying to drive me insane right now? Literally drive me insane? And then he syncs up with another whitey when he gets to the edge of the parking lot. And then it syncs up with another whitey. And then, like I said yesterday, I went to the library, and they had all these mentally handicapped people stalking me, like a lot of them, and they were just like walking up close to me. They just kept like getting closer to me, and I kept like stepping away, and then they kept getting closer to me, and they're just like all crowding around me and like stalking me, doing it synced up. And this guy was coming up in my face with a red shirt. This mentally handicapped guy was like pointing, like past me, but he's like pointing like right in my face, and he's like looking right at me, and he's like, "Duh!" He's like saying something like that. Like he's not even saying words, but he's just like, "Duh!" or something like that. But he's just pointing like right at me and like sticking his finger like right in my face with a red shirt on. And he just kept doing it over and over and over. But again, he's like mentally handicapped, so like, I can't get mad at him. But I'm like mad at the situation though, and like how they're using these mentally handicapped people and children to stalk me, you know? It's just really fucked up, you know? And then there's just like a lot of them there yesterday stalking me with mentally handicapped people. And like and they have smirks on their face too. Like they think it's funny. And like I can see in their eyes, like they'll like glance over at me and they think it's funny to stalk. Some of them. Some of them look like that. It's just crazy, bro. Every day is just really crazy. Every day. This white truck drove out right when I walked up, and then he synced with a whitey. And then it synced with a tan car. And then there's this red car parking in the parking lot. He's probably a stalker. I think he parked right in this other red car, drove out, and then it's syncing with these whiteys. And then and then and then there's black and silver cars, and this other black car is parked on the side of the street. And then there's blue trucks synced up with blue trucks and red trucks. And then there's a whitey. They always just gotta throw in a whitey to let me know it's a stalker thing. Or a tan car. And then the whiteys synced with the whiteys with the other whiteys, and then another whitey with the other whiteys. Wow. The whiteys, bro. The whiteys are at it again. The whiteys never stop. They're always the whiteys. There's a loud engine right now. You hear him? Was he a whitey? What type of engine was it? A whitey? I think he drove right by me. I don't know what it was. Oh, and then on that video today, there was that whitey that was honking that kept hitting its lock button over and over right as I walked up to the intersection. It kept hitting its lock button a bunch of times, and then it stopped, and then it did it right when I got across the street again, and then it stopped again, and then it did it right as some stalker was driving by me, and then this black truck was behind me doing a U-turn at the same time. And then it did it again right as the black truck parked. This white SUV kept hitting its lock button over and over and over and over, and it kept doing it at different synced up moments, and then it would stop, and then it would do it again over and over and over. It kept doing that. And it's just really ridiculous that I can record things like this over and over, and then they just keep getting away with it. And like, I wouldn't be able to take this to court, you know, but I should be able to, because what is that? Why does he keep hitting his lock button over and over and over? And why does he do it right as a truck is doing a U-turn? And why does he do it right when the truck parks? And why does he do it right at the street and right across the street? Is it because he's a stalker? Yes. It's not even a question. Of course he's a stalker. What else would it be? Tell me, what else would it be? Tell me, Vladimir Putin or one of you fucks. Tell me, what else could it be? A coincidence over and over 4 times in a row? Obviously, I know the answer to the question. What's gonna happen right now? It's gonna be a coincidence. White truck. Oh! Right when the white truck gets to the other corner, this black car is coming in the parking lot. Was it a coincidence again? Was it my schizophrenia? And then right when he gets to the edge of the parking lot with the black car, there's another white truck going through the intersection. And then right when he gets to the intersection with black truck, another black car is driving right by me. And then right when he gets to the edge of the parking lot, there's another whitey at the intersection. And then right when he turns down the street, there's another whitey. Stevie Wonder just deleted the message again. What did he say that time? I didn't see it. I was looking at the stalkers on my window. He keeps deleting his messages. You should think before you type stuff. Then you don't have to delete it. Oh, there's black cars sinking at the intersection with a whitey. Oh, there's black and silver cars again with a FedEx. Oh, there's a whitey with the silver car turning in the parking lot. Oh, there's another truck that's sinking up. Oh, there's other stalkers. Do I think they're stalkers? No, I know they are. Like, do I think this is a white SUV stalking me right now? No, I'm 100% sure of it. It is another one stalking me through my apartment window. I know it. And you know it. Here goes 2 silver cars. One of them's driving out of the parking lot. One of them's driving in the parking lot at the same exact time as each other. And then they drive by each other at the corner of the building as a whitey drives behind them. And then synced up with other silver and whiteys. And then they're all sync-tarded again. Very sync-tarded. Very sink-tarded. And then there's sink-tarded again with more silver and white cars, and then more white cars, and then more of them. And then the white cars get to the intersection, and then more white cars. Yep, more white cars. I knew it. More of them. Yup. And then there's this engine sound when a whitey drove out. Is he gonna drive by me with this engine sound? Is it gonna be scary? Oh, I saw a guy that looked like Freddy Krueger stalking me today. Like, he had a Freddy Krueger looking shirt on. Like a red and gray shirt. It looked just like Freddy Krueger. Freddy Krueger is a stalker. Even Freddy Krueger's a stalker, man. Everybody's a stalker. There goes a guy on a bike riding by me as two whiteys sync up. And the one's driving through the parking lot, and then it's gonna park right when the guy on the bike gets to the street. It did it. Right when he got to the street. And then they open and close their door synced, and then they open the back door, and they're gonna close that door synced. And then this black car is driving out of the parking lot right as the silver car drives into the parking lot at the exact same moment. And then he syncs up with another black car right as the other black car gets around the corner, and another black car drove out at the same time. And then it syncs with a white car around the other corner, and then the silver car driving back out synced up with a white truck going around the corner. What else happened today? What other sink-tarded things happened? That helicopter flew over my apartment. I posted that video up. That happened today. And when I woke up this morning, there was a garbage truck outside making garbage truck slammy noises right when I woke up. That happened today. What else happened today? I don't know. A lot of synced up, retarded things happened today. People coming in and out of buildings right next to me, coming in and out of doors right next to me, coming in and out of cars right next to me, cars pulling up and parking right next to me and taking off right next to me. As always. Oh yeah, like this guy came, drove through this parking lot with his white SUV, and he like turned around me, and then he came and he parked in another place right in front of me in another parking lot, and he did it all synced up at corners. And then I was like, why did you do that? And he's like, what? Why did I do what? And I'm like, why did you do that? And he's like, oh, I missed my turn. And I'm like, why? He's like, I just missed my turn. I'm like, why'd you do that? He's like, what? I'm like, why'd you do that? And then he just eventually just turns around and goes in the building. He doesn't want to answer me anymore. Because he can't. Because he literally is not allowed to say why he did that. Isn't that fun? Isn't that cool to do to people? You just do that, and then they're like, why did you do that? And then you're like, I don't know. I don't know, man. Because I can. There's a white SUV driving out of the parking lot right now. There's this guy walking up that I think... Is this the guy that I'm thinking it is? Is he a stalker? I bet he's gonna stalk whoever it is. I think it's a guy that I know who's a stalker, but he synced up with his black and silver car when he went in the door. It's just always a constant stream of stalkers out here is my point. It's just always. It's just really crazy. And I still don't know what's going on. I mean, I have a general idea, you know, but like, what the fuck, dude? What's wrong with these people? This white SUV just synced with this guy walking in the background. It's just like doing circles in the parking lot. And it's just the dumbest thing imaginable. There's people out here synchronating with their children, and that's retarded, right? There's black and silver cars again. They probably got their children in the car. And then there's a white car synced up with the black and silver cars. And then there's another black car synced up with the white car. And then there's a bug flying up in my face in the window. And then there's another silver car with the black car. And then there's a white car. And then there's a black car taking off out of the parking lot. And then there's other cars with the cars. Stop doing crystal meth. All right. That's easy because I never started. Done. And then there's whiteys, and then there's other stalkers with the whiteys, and then there's whiteys with the whitey turning in the parking lot. There's constantly retardedly driving by even when I'm not looking out my window. They're still doing sync patterns out there probably even when I'm not watching. Unless I'm like sitting away from the window, they'll probably like stop and they'll just like have them on standby, you know, I don't know. Do they just constantly do it when I'm not looking? I don't know. But as soon as I walk up to the window though, there's a loud engine right now. There's a black car opening their trunk right as a black car drives in front of it, and then right when it turns into the parking lot, there's another black car. And then there's Whitey, and then there's stuff with the Whitey, right? I think they just got out of the black car with the red shirt with the whitey, with the trunk open. And they're gonna close the trunk right now. What's gonna happen? Oh, he's not closing it. He just walked around, walked back with a black car, I think, and then he walks back to the front of the car as a white truck drives out. And he's gonna do something else retarded with his red shirt. He's gonna close the trunk right as a black car and another black car drive behind his black car with his red shirt. He's gonna open the trunk with a black car and then close the trunk with two black cars on his black car with his red shirt. To stalk me through my apartment window. And then he probably thinks he's cool. Like he probably slammed the trunk and then he's like, yeah, I just slammed that trunk on him. Ha! I got him. Yeah, I just slammed a trunk with a red shirt. Here goes a blue car taking off, synced with the whitey and synced with red cars. And the whitey is coming in the parking lot. And then it's driving right by me. And it has a red shirt, I think. And what is it sync with? The silver car is turning in the parking lot with another silver car. And then my refrigerator is going off at the same time. And then the other silver car is coming in the parking lot. And then he's syncing with other stinkheads in the background. Woo! That just happened outside my apartment window. And my neighbor started talking synced, I think. I just realized he was talking. I was like, wait, he probably started talking right when I walked up. It was probably right when he started. I just was paying attention to all the other stuff instead. But he probably did that right when I walked up to the window. I don't know if he did or not, but probably did. Because every time I hear him talking through the walls, it's synced. He never has a phone conversation that's not synced. He starts it synced every time. Like if someone calls him, he just hangs up and then he calls them back right at a synced moment to sync on me or something. I don't know. He's just always having phone conversations synced every time. Every time. And my refrigerator is getting louder right now, synced. There's an engine sound outside right now. And it sounds synced. It's probably synced. Just like every other time. Just like every other time. Not an exaggeration. It's like 95% of the time with the engine sounds, at least. Woo. Here goes a white truck and another whitey. And another whitey. And a black car taking off out of the parking lot. That's probably a sync head, but I don't know yet. He's driving out and he's syncing with two whiteys and another black car. And then these people walked around the corner with their children. And I think they were syncing, but I'm not sure. But probably. And then there's other ones on the street. But she was probably walking across the parking lot with her child, stalking me with her child. And I just can't get over how insane that is to stalk with your child. I just can't get over how insane and disgusting that is to stalk with your child. And then I think I heard a baby crying sink today again. I don't know if it was today, but it happens all the time though. Here goes the black cars, I think, and then there's this blue truck with a red shirt on. He's parking synced, and he's gonna get out synced. And then there's black and silver cars and white cars. They're all synced. There's people walking by the blue truck, and a white SUV is driving behind it and parking. Is it parking? What's happening? I don't know, but they walked behind the blue truck right as a white car drove by with their children. They walked by with their children, so it's probably more stalkers stalking with their children again. And then when they get to the other corner, they're gonna stalk with their children again. There's an engine sound right when they get to the other corner with their children. There's a truck turning on outside. It's probably gonna be a whitey. This loud truck outside, it's probably gonna be a whitey. And this guy's got a white American flag on his shirt, and he's probably gonna stalk. Is he gonna stalk when he gets in a car? Is it gonna be a stalk? He's getting in a car right as a car parks behind his car on the street. And then that guy gets out of his car right as he gets in his car. And then he's taking off with his white American flag shirt in his car. And then the white truck, the loud white truck, is taking off at the same time that he's taking off. And there's a whitey going through the intersection behind them. And then there's another whitey behind them when they both turn. And then he's driving by me with his arm out his window. Up. He's putting his seatbelt on. I think he's syncing up with all these black and silver and white cars in the background, and there's more of them, and then they just keep going. There's a car honking right now. You could probably hear it. He's like, honk, honk. neighbor just started talking right now. There's black and silver cars, I think. There's all these black and silver cars driving out of the parking lot. And then there's the whiteys. Oh, here goes another whitey out of the parking lot. Oh, what's he gonna do? Right when he gets to the edge of the parking lot, a black car drives out, and then it syncs with the whitey, and then it syncs with another whitey, and then the whitey is gonna sync with another whitey at the intersection, and another whitey, and a black and silver car, and the other whitey's come back around, and then it's gonna sync at the intersection with black and silver cars, with another black car driving in the parking lot that syncs with another black car as it turns, and then another whitey, and then other whiteys, and then other black and silver stalkers, and then other stalkers after those stalkers, nonstop, forever. Are they just gonna keep doing it forever? Here goes more black and silver cars, and then a black car or a silver car is taking off out of the parking lot at the same time, and then more whiteys. Here goes a tan car. Is he gonna sink? He synced, I think, with all these. There's a lot of cars out here, but a lot of them look synced. Like the majority of them. It's just nonstop cars out here. Just like new people coming through. You know, it's just nonstop cars driving around. But most of them look synced. Most of them are synced, bro. It's just crazy how it's most of them. Why are most cars out here synced right now? Why is there 2 tan cars syncing right now? Why is everybody that owns a tan car syncing with it? Why is everybody synced out here, bro? Why do they do that? Here goes the engine sound, and I just know he's a sync head. And it's like right after I stop talking, you know, I just know he's a sync head. It's just another synced engine sound out here. It's just really crazy how like every engine sound that I hear is a synced engine sound, and it's just over and over all day. It's just really crazy how every time I hear an engine sound, or a truck beeping, or a car honking, or really any sound, pretty much, it's synced. Or nail guns, or anything. A dumpster slamming, or anything. Birds chirping. The birds chirping don't always sound synced. But yesterday, those birds chirping sounded synced, and then I think it was the same birds that were flying over the cars. Those birds sounded synced. This engine sound right now is synced with the cars. It's synced with a white van driving out of the parking lot with all these other cars synced. And then he's synced again as the white van comes back around the other way. And then it syncs with the whitey at the intersection. And then there's a white Domino's car right behind the whitey. And then a white truck drives out. Ah! Sync-tarded. Ah! Very sync-tarded. Very sync-tarded, man. There's another engine sound outside. It sounds sync-tarded again. Possibly a different one or possibly the same one. I don't know. There's black and silver cars again and a whitey with the black and silver cars. And then last black car is driving out with the other black car driving out of the parking lot. Then there's this blue car driving all the way across, and then it syncs with a whitey. And then this whitey is taking off out of the parking lot at the same time. And then this guy's walking out with a red shirt right when it stops backing up. And then he's gonna get in a car. And the whitey drives out of the parking lot right as this black truck drives out. And then the guy is getting in a car with his red shirt right behind the black truck in a silver car. And then there's red and blue cars in the Domino's car and black and silver cars again. And then another red car with the red car again. And then he got in the silver car, and then they closed the door at some synced moment that I didn't see. And then they're gonna take off synced with the red shirt and the silver stalker car. But when? But when, man? When are they gonna take off synced in the silver stalker car with the red shirt? There's other stalkers syncing up meanwhile. There goes a red and a blue car again. Oh, and right when they sync, the silver car takes off, and then it syncs with the red car driving through the intersection. And then it syncs with another blue car, and then a bird is flying over my head at the same time. And then the whiteys, and then the silver car is driving out right as a black car drives by, and then there's two red cars. And then they sync up again with the two red cars with another red car, and then it's going in the parking lot synced with the whitey. And then it's gonna park synced with another red car or something. He's going in the parking lot. He's stopping right as a red car drives out. And then he's going to back up synced and park synced 10 times. He let someone out of the red truck, and then he drove off right as a whitey and a blue truck drive out, and then a car honked right after, and it was probably a stalker. Oh, he's coming back with the red truck, and he's parking right as the blue truck drives through the intersection. And then this guy came out with a red hat at some point, and he probably did that stalkered up. I don't know when he came out. He just pointlessly stalked me because I missed it. So whatever he did, I didn't see it. So he just did it for no reason. If he's a stalker, I don't know. Maybe he just got a red hat. You know, people just got red hats sometimes. I used to wear red hats. I never stalked anybody with them. Oh yeah, and then there was this. What happened? Oh, it was like I was walking up the street and there's a school and like a teacher or something. She like walks out with all these children behind her, and she walks out in front of me synced, and then she's just got like this line of children behind her, and then they like walk up the sidewalk, and then they walk back in. They walk in the other door of the school, like the side door or whatever, and then like they walked in front of me right as I'm walking by this house that has a dog in the front yard. And like the dog was barking synced right before that, I think. But like definitely they came out in front of me synced the first time, and then like they just walk in front of me as I'm walking by the dog, and it's probably synced with the dog. And then there's these girls out on the playground, and like right as a semi with a red shirt drives in front of me, they like run up to the fence, and they're like yelling at the semi. They're like woo or whatever, and they're doing it synced as like I walked by an alley or something. And there's just always kids out on the playground syncing up on me when I walk by school, and they're like screaming synced or just like running up next to the fence synced or whatever. And again, like every time I see children, pretty much, like any children that I see pretty much are stalker children. Like pretty much any time I see children, it's stalker children. Like if it's like a big group of children like that, I can't really tell. But like when I see people with their children, or when I see children like running around on their scooters or whatever, when I see children anytime, pretty much anytime I see children, they're stalking me. Isn't that weird? How anytime I see children, they're stalking me. There's a black car driving through the intersection. Is he gonna sink? He sinks with a black car at the other corner. And then there's other black and silver cars. And then there's a whitey with them. And then he's gonna sink again at the intersection. Nope, he didn't. Oh, this black car is taking off immediately after. Is he on? Is he gonna start a chain reaction of retardations? He's driving out with a silver car and then another black car and then a red truck is probably synced with him. Yep, and then he sinks with another red car. Yep, and then there's a blue car with the red cars. And I think he had a red shirt in the blue car. And he's really far away from me where I can barely see that he has a red shirt on, but I think I saw that though. And then there's more red cars and white cars and stupid cars doing stupid shit. And then I think I heard an engine sync up when I walked back over here. And then yesterday, like I was getting ready to go outside. And I heard this truck beep outside right as my neighbor blew his nose. And then right as I go to put my shoes on, he's coughing. And then I just saw 2 tan cars and then a Domino's car. And then there's probably a million other things I forgot. But I'll remember again. And like whenever I'm outside trying to talk about shit, like they'll always just distract me. And I was like, I won't be able to finish my story ever. Because they're just always going nonstop. Oh, here comes the people with their children again. Are they going to stalk again? The same ones again? And there's other people with their children stalking, I think. There's multiple people out here with their children stalking again. Oh, is that engine sound a stalker? I just saw it. What was that? Was that a stalker with the stalker engine? I saw this guy on a skateboard thing with the stalker engine and all the other stalker cars. Oh, they're walking back with their children. Are they gonna stalk? Are they gonna stalk with their children? They're walking across. And there's a whitey synced up with the people with their children. There's a whitey synced up with people with their children. They're gonna stalk again with their children when they get to the other corner, aren't they? They're walking to the other corner with their children. They're almost there. They're gonna sync with this silver truck that's syncing with a black car right now when they get there. They're syncing with the silver truck right now, and there's another guy walking across at the same time, and there's a bird flying over my head at the same time, and there's whiteys at the same time. And then the silver truck comes in the parking lot and he parks synced with a whitey and another black car. And then he backs up synced with another whitey that's driving out of the parking lot. And then he drives forward again with the black car going around the last corner. And then the whitey's gonna take off synced out of the parking lot. And then right as it takes off out of the parking lot, there's another whitey taking off out of the parking lot. And they probably got children in their car. Do they got children in their whitey? Is it gonna sync with another whitey? It synced with another whitey, and then it's gonna sync with another whitey. Oh, it's gonna sync with a motorcycle and a tan car. Not a whitey. It synced with a motorcycle and a tan car. Wow. And then there's an engine sound. Is he a stalker? I think he's synced with the tan car. And then the tan car is gonna sync with a white truck and another tan car. Just another tan car that drove up to the intersection and met another tan car at the intersection again. Just like every time that I see a tan car, usually that's happening. If it's not happening, then the tan car is driving by me at a crosswalk or something. There's just one tan car. But a lot of the time when I see a tan car, it's meeting another tan car. Or a whitey or something, or a FedEx or something. But like, how many videos have I recorded though where tan cars are meeting other tan cars? There's like a lot of them. It's like most of the time that I see a tan car, right? Isn't it? Most of the time that I see a tan car that's happening? Let me know. Put it in the comments. Is it most of the time that I see a tan car that's happening? The answer is yes.